Revolutionary greetings, comrades. We want to congratulate the people of Bulilima for a peaceful by-election that happened on the 3rd of September 2022. For those who are not familiar with the Bulilima, it is on the western part of Zimbabwe, bordering Zimbabwe and Botswana. Most of you might know about a place called the Plumtree. So Plumtree is the administrative town. It is under Bulilima district. So there were 3 wards by elections that were happening on the 3rd of September. Political parties contested. There were 4. The first one, there were 4. The third one, there were 3. And the last one, there were 3 political parties that contested. It was a peaceful campaign. We did not get reports of violence or intimidation as we saw in Gokwe recently, where the opposition leader Nelson Chamisa's vehicles were attacked and some of his supporters. We might have missed in Bulilima, but I don't think I read anywhere where they said there was violence or anyone being prevented from campaigning. We saw some videos from CCC, from ZAPU, from ZAPU circulating on social media in that district in Bulilima, where the by-election was happening. So we congratulate the people of Bulilima and the political parties that campaigned or participated for a peaceful election. This is what we want to see in 2023, where people engage in the battle of ideas, not in the battle of insults or beating each other, or in battle of violence. This is not what we want to see. We want to see a peaceful campaign as people seek to have their parties elected. But let's briefly analyze these results because I've seen in some quarters there's celebration, and I've been asking what is being celebrated. Maybe after recording this video, comrades who are celebrating will then indicate what is being celebrated to some of us. So in Ward 1 in Bulilima, ZANU-PF scored 315 votes. CCC scored 385 votes. A party by the name P, I don't know what P stands for, scored 12 votes. CGC, I also do not know what it stands for. CGC scored 7 votes. So Ward 1 was won by CCC with 385 votes. Unfortunately, I did not get the number of registered voters in that ward. I'm sure we'll get as we go during the course of the week so that we analyze the turnout of the voters in that ward. Then in Ward 14, ZANU-PF got 459 votes, CCC got 332 votes, and ZAPU got 18 votes. So this constituency, this ward was won by ZANU-PF with 459 votes. Then in the last ward, Ward 16, ZANU-PF 118, CCC 131, and ZAPU 34. So of the 3 wards in Bulilima, 2 were won by CCC and 1 won by ZANU-PF. But if you add the numbers of ZANU-PF compared to the numbers of CCC in these 3 wards, ZANU-PF scored more numbers than Triple C. So this is why we're asking, why are these celebrations? But what I have seen, which we need to raise, is because there have been this discussion about structures, that you cannot win elections if you do not have grassroots structures. And there are some who might be misled by this result, that those who are saying a party without structures will fail to win were eating humble pie following this by-election. We have over 1,958 wards in Zimbabwe. So the by-election was only in 3 wards in one constituency, Bulilima, or in one district. So the entire leadership of the parties that were contesting had to descend in those 3 wards. Some who are not even in those wards were polling agents, who will not vote there, who are not registered as voters there, who are registered somewhere and will be voting somewhere in 2023, were asked to be election agents for their party, so that every polling station they are election agents. Now, and as I'm saying, those people in the 2023 elections, they will certainly be in their wards where they are campaigning, where they are going to vote in 2023. So you cannot base on a by-election of 3 wards in one constituency or in one district and then say this is going to play itself out in the 2023 elections, to an extent that you are not worried about the structures because you have demonstrated that you can win without structures. That would be misleading to say. It would be misleading because it's 1,958 thereabout, the number of wards that are in Zimbabwe in the 210 contested seats. In the other video, I think we spoke about the number of polling stations countrywide. I can't remember from the top of my head. So it would be wrong for anyone to then say this is going to play out in 2023. And even if you combine, as I'm saying, yes, the opposition won 2 seats, 2 wards, but if you then add the numbers, when you are then adding to win the constituents, the opposition, Triple C, got less votes than ZANU-PF. So the issue of structures is still key. That without structures, it would be difficult, it would be a tall order to win in rural votes. Then for ZAPU, remember we're born in ZAPU, and we love ZAPU because it's our heritage. We were born in ZAPU, Authentic Liberation Movement. The results are disappointing for ZAPU. If in Ward 14, ZANU-PF scores 459, Triple C 332, and ZAPU scores 18. It's disappointing. In another ward, ZAPU scores 34, where ZANU-PF has scored 118, and the Triple C 131. It is disappointing. So this result, which the national leadership had to descend in these 3 wards, because that was the by-election. In 2023, the leadership will not have the luxury in descending in 3 wards. It has to spread itself countrywide for a campaign. and it has to commit resources countrywide, not only in 3 wards, but countrywide. So when the national leadership of ZAPU descend in 3 wards, commits resources in 3 wards, and perform in the manner it performed, it simply means that ZAPU in 2023 will not win a single ward. That's what it means. And if it cannot win a single ward, ZAPU will not win a constituency. Then the question is, what is the future of ZAPU in the context of contesting an election? What is its future? It might need to begin to ask itself serious questions. It has to ask itself serious questions on whether it has a future in the body politics of Zimbabwe, or it has to undergo transformation. Without transforming itself or reforming itself in terms of its leadership, in terms of its strategies, it will not win a ward. That's what this by-elections tells us. Comrades from ZAPU might argue. Of course, they have a right, they can argue, but we are looking into the results where it contested. And as I'm saying that the national leadership had to converge in the 3 wards and commit resources in the 3 wards, and still had to score this low. So when you then spread in the entire Bulilima, the entire Mad South, the entire Mad North, Bulawayo, Midlands, Marsh East, Maswingo, Marsh Central, Marsh West, Manicaland, it will not be able to compete. So comrades in ZAPU need to have a retreat and ask serious questions about their participation in elections on their own, because the ZAPU cannot win a ward on its own. It's time that it begins to think about possible alliances with the others, whether, I know it will not even consider an alliance with the ZANU-PF because it is from there. It has to consider possible alliances with the CCC if it wants to be relevant. But of course, the attitude of CCC, I don't think that CCC, knowing their tradition, I don't think they will take them seriously, even though Nelson Chamisa, when he was in White Seat in one of the rallies, was saying to Comrades Panglizwe and Komo that they have to work together. But knowing their attitude, CCC. But it simply means, as I conclude, that ZAPU has a serious problems in contesting elections in Zimbabwe. It needs a retreat. It needs to have this strategic retreat and ask itself hard questions, because its message is not being received by the voters. That's what we must be frank about. Now I'm a communist, so I have to say things as they are. The ZAPU message of devolution of power, which has been its key message, has not been received by the people on the ground. The people of Bulilima are split between ZANU-PF and CCC. It's a reality, and we have said Zimbabwe is a 2-party state. So the difference between ZANU-PF and CCC in the outcome of these results is very, very narrow, because ZANU-PF got 315 in Ward 1 and CCC got 385, winning the vote. Then ZANU-PF scored 459 Ward 14 Triple C 332, ZANU-PF winning there, and then Triple C winning 131 in Ward 16, and ZANU-PF 118. So the contest is actually between ZANU-PF and then Triple C. So the third way, as it were, does not exist, or there's no space for third way, if I were to put it in the current conditions in Zimbabwe. So this is what ZAPU must then understand. That on their own, even if comrades were wish to have ZAPU in any of the rural councils or urban councils as a party, even in the National Assembly as a ZAPU, but they need to accept that their message is not being received by the people of Zimbabwe. They need a serious rethink in packaging their message. They need a serious rethink around their own leadership, whether the leadership understands the needs of the people. Of course, comrades, I know comrades from ZAPU will be hard on me, but let's have this conversation. Let's have this conversation that the former liberation movement, an authentic liberation movement for that matter, ZAPU, does not have political space in Zimbabwe to operate to an extent that it can send its members or leaders into any of the councils or in parliament in Zimbabwe. It's a reality we have to accept. And this is why it has to rethink its attitude to an election in Zimbabwe. If you're a ZAPU member or you're sympathetic to ZAPU or you're Triple C or you're ZANU-PF, please share your views in the comment section. Let's have this conversation. Please like the video, circulate in your contacts and have this political discussion. Anyone who's going to attack me, I will hide behind the results. I know people are going to be asking, Comrade Mabena, what about Zimbabwe Communist Party? We have explained. We are building a vanguard of the working class and peasants. We are not contesting in 2023 elections. And we have said we will not contest elections on our own as the Zimbabwe Communist Party. Let that be clear. Let that be clear. Because we cannot contest against the class that we represent. So if we contest alongside the class that we represent, and that is the workers, the working class, and the peasant. So that should be understood. So when you then try to defend yourself, don't say, Comrade Mabena, what about the Zimbabwe Communist Party? Right, we have to understand why Vanguard, why not a mass-based movement, right? Please, thank you so much. Please kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks so much again to those that have subscribed. Otherwise, I'm Andla Comrades.